May marriage's life. In a quiet Hmong village where the morning mist clung to the bamboo forests like secrets, a girl named Mai grew up like a wild orchid, beautiful, resilient, and unnoticed by those who should have protected her. At 14, Mai was already known across the village, not because of her family's wealth or status, but because of her beauty and her perseverance. She rose before the sun to fetch water, cooked for her younger siblings, tended the vegetable garden, and still found time to sew intricate patterns into Hmong cloth. Her hands were small but strong. Her heart was young but wise. Every young man in the village noticed her. Some left wildflowers by her fence. Others tried to walk her home from the rice fields. But Mai smiled politely and shook her head each time. She was not ready for marriage. She barely understood womanhood. Her body had just begun to change, and her dreams were still soft and unfinished, like a story with blank pages. "I want to wait," she told her mother once. "I want to learn more, maybe even go to the town school." Her mother laughed. "School for a girl like you? Men will fight for you. You should be grateful." Mai wasn't grateful. She was afraid. The rich man's son Tuo was born into one of the wealthiest families in the village. His father owned many acres of rice paddies and several water buffalo. Tuo had never known hunger. He had never carried firewood until his back bled. He was handsome in a hard way. His eyes used to getting what they wanted, and what he wanted was Mai. He watched her from a distance for months. He saw how she moved, how she worked without complaint, how the older women whispered that she would make a perfect daughter-in-law. But when Tuo approached Mai directly, she refused him gently. "I'm sorry, Tuo. I'm too young. I'm not ready." Tuo smiled, but his eyes did not. He walked away without a word. That night, he came to her parents' house with 3 of his cousins. They brought rice wine, a fat chicken, and silver coins wrapped in red paper, the traditional marriage negotiation gifts. Mai's parents welcomed them inside. The men sat cross-legged on bamboo mats, drinking and laughing. No one asked Mai to sit with them. She listened from behind the thin wall of her sleeping room, her heart pounding like a trapped bird. "Your daughter is beautiful," Tuo said to her father. "I want to marry her. I will pay a good bride price." Her father hesitated only a moment. "She is young." "Not too young," Tuo's cousin interrupted. "Other girls her age already have children. Mai is ready. You raised her well." Her mother nodded quickly. "It's a good family. She will be safe." No one asked Mai. No one entered her room. No one listened to the silent scream building in her throat. The night they carried her away. That same night, after the agreement was sealed with wine and silver, Tuo and his 3 cousins entered Mai's room. She was sitting on her bed, hugging her knees, tears already falling. "Please," she whispered. "Please don't. I'm only 14. No one listened. Tuo grabbed her left arm. 2 cousins grabbed her legs. Another wrapped an arm around her waist. They lifted her like a sack of rice, like a bundle of firewood, like a thing without a soul. "Let me go." Mai screamed. "Mother, father, help me." Her mother stood in the doorway of the main room, face turned away. Her father stared at the floor, hands shaking around his cup of rice wine. They said nothing. They did nothing. Mai scratched and kicked and bit. She clawed at the doorframe. She pulled a handful of her own hair trying to break free. But she was one small girl against 3 grown men. Her strength meant nothing. Her tears meant nothing. Her no meant nothing. Tuo carried her across the village path to his family's large wooden house. Neighbors peeked through their windows but quickly closed their shutters. This was tradition. This was normal. This was how things were done. Mai arrived at Tuo's home bleeding from her lip, her dress torn, her voice gone from screaming. No one comforted her. His mother simply handed her a broom and pointed to the kitchen. "You are a daughter-in-law now," the older woman said. "Start working." The servant years, married life for Mai was not marriage. It was servitude. She woke at 4 a.m. to light the fire and cook rice for Tuo's entire family. His parents, his 2 unmarried uncles, his younger siblings. She washed everyone's clothes by hand in the cold river. She fed the pigs, carried water up the hill, cleaned the animal shed, and served tea to guests without raising her eyes. If the food was too salty, Tuo's mother slapped her. If the fire went out, Tuo's father shouted at her. If she sat down to rest for even a moment, someone would find a new task for her. Tuo himself barely looked at her except at night. And at night, he took what he wanted without tenderness. Mai learned to close her eyes and think of nothing. Within 4 years, Mai gave birth to 2 children, a daughter first, then a son. Her body, once soft and lovely, became thin and worn. Her hands cracked from cold water and hot ash. Dark circles settled under her eyes like permanent shadows. The village no longer whispered about her beauty. They whispered that she looked old before her time, but Mai loved her children fiercely. When her daughter cried, Mai sang old Hmong lullabies. When her son took his first steps, Mai wept with joy. They were the only reason she still breathed. The second wife. When Mai was 18, still a teenager by any measure, her husband began staying out late. He came home smelling of flowers and another woman's hair oil. He bought new clothes. He laughed more. He stopped coming to Mai's bed entirely. One evening, Tuo sat across from her at the low wooden table. He didn't look at her eyes. He looked at his hands. "I'm taking a second wife," he said. Not a question. A statement. Mai's heart shattered into pieces too small to find. "No," she whispered, "please. I have given you everything. My youth, my body, my blood, please don't." Tuo stood up. "You have no right to say no. Cook the celebration food. She comes next week." The second wife was young, 15, beautiful, with a round face and soft cheeks untouched by hard work. Her name was Nia. She wore colorful skirts and laughed easily. Tuo built her a separate room. He bought her silver jewelry. He held her hand in public, something he had never done with Mai. Within months, Mai became invisible. Nia did not cook. She did not wash clothes. She did not carry water. She ordered Mai to do these things, and Tuo's parents agreed. "Mai knows the work," they said. "Let her do it." Now Mai served not just her husband's family, but her husband's other wife. She scrubbed Nia's floors. She washed Nia's bloody rags. She watched from the kitchen door as Tuo fed Nia pieces of fruit with his own fingers. At night, Mai lay alone on a thin mat in the storage room, listening to the sounds of Tuo and Nia laughing behind the closed door. She pressed her hands over her ears until her arms ached. "I want to die," she whispered to the darkness. "Please, just let me die." But then her daughter, 4 years old, would crawl into her arms. Or her son, barely 3, would call for her in his sleep. And Mai would remember, if I die, who will love them? Who will fight for them? Who will show them another way to live? The return to her parents, one afternoon, when Tuo had taken Nia to the market in another village, Mai walked 3 hours to her parents' house. She had not visited in nearly a year. Her mother opened the door and barely recognized her. Mai. Mai fell to her knees on the dirt floor. She told them everything. The beatings, the servitude, the second wife, the nights she prayed to die. "I want a divorce," Mai said, her voice raw. "I want to leave him. Please, help me." Her mother turned white. Her father's jaw tightened. "No," her father said finally. "A Hmong woman does not divorce. You will bring shame to our clan, to your brothers, to everyone. But I am dying," Mai sobbed. "Every day I am dying a little more." Her mother knelt beside her but did not embrace her. "You are a wife. You are a mother. Bear it. That is your duty. Go back and be a good daughter-in-law." Mai looked into their eyes and saw no rescue. She was a child again, 14 years old, screaming for help while her parents looked away. She walked back to Tuo's house in silence. That night she did not cry. She planned. The escape for 3 months, Mai prepared in secret. She stitched a small bag from old cloth and hid it under the floorboards. She saved tiny amounts of money, stolen coins from market days, a silver bracelet given to her daughter that she sold to a traveling merchant, a few eggs she sold secretly to a neighbor. She studied the road to the Thai border. She asked quiet questions. Which paths have no soldiers? Where can we cross at night? Who might help a woman with 2 children? One night, when Tuo was drunk and Nia was sleeping, Mai woke her children. Her daughter was 5. Her son was 4. She whispered, "We are going on a long walk. You must be very, very quiet. Do you understand?" They nodded, eyes wide with trust. Mai carried her son on her back. Her daughter held her hand. They slipped out the back door and disappeared into the jungle before dawn. They walked for 2 days. Through bamboo thickets, across streams, past villages where strangers looked but did not stop them. Her son cried from hunger. Her daughter's feet bled. Mai carried both children at times, her small body bending under the weight. But she did not stop. On the 3rd day, they crossed a shallow river and stepped onto Thai soil. Kind strangers in a foreign land in a small Thai town near the border, Mai found work as a servant in the home of an elderly Thai couple. Their names were Auntie Som and Uncle Prasert. They had no children of their own. When they heard Mai's story, her voice shaking, her children clinging to her skirt, Auntie Som cried, "You are safe now," "You are safe now," the old woman said. "No one will force you to do anything again." Mai worked hard. She cleaned, cooked, washed, and tended the small garden. But unlike Tuo's house, here she was fed. Here she was given a real bed. Here her children were allowed to play and laugh and go to school. Auntie Som and Uncle Prasert helped Mai get identity papers. They paid for a lawyer to apply for citizenship cards for her and her 2 children. It took years, but they never gave up on her. Mai learned Thai. She learned to read and write. She saved every extra coin. When her children were old enough for primary school, she walked them there every morning and picked them up every afternoon, her heart swelling with pride. The village left behind, back in the Hmong village. Tuo's house fell into chaos. Without Mai, no one woke early to cook. No one washed the clothes. No one fed the pigs or carried water. Tuo's mother tried to order Nia to do the work, but Nia refused loudly. "I am not a servant," Nia shouted. "I am a wife. You do it yourself." For the first time, Tuo's parents realized what they had lost. But it was too late. Tuo, now burdened with both an angry second wife and aging parents, had to do the work himself. He carried water until his back broke. He cooked burned rice. He washed his own clothes in the river like a bachelor. At night, he sat alone and thought of Mai, how she never complained, how she worked from dawn to midnight without rest, how she raised his children while he ignored her. He remembered the night they carried her away like a stolen animal. He remembered her screams. "I was wrong," he whispered to the empty room. "I was so wrong." But no one heard him. And even if they did, it changed nothing. The harvest of peace. 20 years passed. Mai's daughter became the first girl from their old village, though she had never seen it, to graduate from a Thai university with a degree in nursing. Her son studied engineering and later started his own small construction business. When her daughter bought her first house in Chiang Mai, Mai stood in the living room and wept. Not from sadness, from a joy so deep it hurt. "You did this," her daughter said, hugging her tight. "You walked through the jungle for us. You worked on your knees for us. Everything we are is because of you." Mai shook her head. "No," she said, holding her daughter's face. "I just refused to let them bury me while I was still alive." In her final years, Mai lived in peace. She had no husband. She had no master. She had 2 children who loved her, a small garden of her own, and the quiet satisfaction of having broken a cycle that had broken so many women before her. She never remarried. She never returned to the village. But sometimes, on cool evenings, she would sit on her porch and look toward the mountains where she was born. She did not feel anger anymore, only a deep, tired sadness for the 14-year-old girl who had screamed for help and heard nothing but silence. "I survived," she would whisper to the wind, "and my children are free." Mai died peacefully at 73, surrounded by her grandchildren. Her daughter placed a Hmong skirt over her body, the same pattern Mai had sewn as a girl, before the marriage, before the pain, before the long walk through the jungle. On her grave, they carved no husband's name. Only her own, Mai mother, survivor, free end of life married of a Hmong woman.